spend the day downtown. We've got carriage rides, all sorts of fun stuff that helps us kick off the holiday season. Oops, we went green again. That's all right. Can you hit the next slide, Carrie, while you're over there?
Got it. It's up.
I stay away from the technological stuff because I just know it's going to go even worse. So, okay, one thing that I want to talk to you guys about is where we are culturally within downtown Cedar Rapids. We are within what is known as Grant Wood Cultural District. Who knows Grant Wood? You Cedar Rapidians better be raising your hands. Everybody's got to know Grant Wood. Anybody know what he painted? What was he most known for? American Gothic. Anybody know where he painted American Gothic? 5 Turner Alley. All right. A pair of garden gloves for you. Or volunteer gloves when you join us for volunteering in Downtown District this year. Thank you. 5 Turner Alley. The state of Iowa in 2010 declared that downtown Cedar Rapids has natural, walkable space filled with arts and culture within the downtown area. So much to the fact that they actually designated a cultural district. So within that cultural district and some of the neighbors that we have, including Nubo, Czech Village, I want to just highlight on a few things. I know we're around 7:40 right now. So
7:35.
I just want to make sure that you guys get out of here by 9. We've got Theater Cedar Rapids. Anybody been? Theater Cedar Rapids? Those of you that have been, those of you that have not been, ranked top 5 in community theaters in the nation. Top 5 of community theater. This is not your typical community theater, people. This is actors that come from 4 states around to audition for the performances that Theater Cedar Rapids hosts. So if you have not been yet, if you have people from out of town, I strongly recommend that you take them. It's unbelievable. Theater Cedar Rapids is certainly one of them. Legion Arts at CSPS. Anybody been to the Landfall Music Series that occurs in October? About 20 different concerts. The majority of them are free. The majority of them are actually in Green Square Park. Fantastic couple weeks of live music from international artists. On top of that, Legion Arts is very much known for modern art, modern music, modern exhibits. They're undergoing a major renovation right now. When they get done, it's going to be breathtaking. Grant Wood Studio, we talked a little bit about. He actually lived and worked in downtown Cedar Rapids at 5 Turner Alley. That's a fantastic space. They've preserved a lot of his work area as well as his living space. So that is right behind Cedar Rapids Museum of Art. Cedar Rapids Museum of Art, largest collection of Grant Wood work in the world. Fantastic space, lots of traveling exhibits, one coming up that I'm going to talk to you guys about here in a little bit. I'm going to kind of skip over here a few of them. Again, I'm just kind of scratching the surface. But National Czech and Slovak Museum and Library. This has been in the news recently. Sven, you might not have heard about it yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if you're already read up on it. So you're already coming to a Conquer the Corridor so soon. So National Czech and Slovak Museum, that is slated to actually be physically picked up and moved. And we're not sure on the date yet. It was supposed to be this week, but there's been a couple of things that are going to set it back for a little bit. In the meantime, there's a fantastic temporary space in Czech Village that's got a great exhibit called Rising Above. If you haven't been there, great story about the flood, great story about the history of Czech Village, and the exciting development to come. So those are just a few of the many. Anyway, so much to the fact in terms of arts and culture that we have in downtown Cedar Rapids, we actually have a cultural district. Cultural attractions, a list of all the downtown ones that you can find are in your packet. So, moving on, we're going to talk a little bit about going corridor-wide. Okay, so this is a slide that we could spend a lot of time on, but because we promised you an hour, we're going to go fast through it. So, I'm only going to highlight a couple things. 2 points. One, the Amana colonies. Enough said. If we don't talk about the core of downtown Cedar Rapids, the core of Iowa City, then we have to talk about the Amana colonies. So, excellent place to go and have art and cultural experience. If you haven't been or not familiar, the Amana colonies is a collection of 7 historic German villages who have kept their traditional ways and means of life. And if you go, there's shopping, old woolen mills, there's a great brewery there, lots of different wine stores, cheese stores, chocolate shops. Just a great collection of dining and shopping options. The Amana Colonies has 3 of their own professional theaters. The Old Creamery Theater is my hands-down favorite. I've seen great shows there. They've got one coming up that I'm going to talk about. So a great place to go. Also, Amana Colonies has a lake. It's called Lily Lake. If you're not into arts and culture, go to the Amana Colonies for the lake and the outdoor activities. On Friday afternoons during the summer, they do a bike ride tour of the Amana Colonies
They've got events, running events, biking events that go on along the trail. So definitely, number one, when we're talking about culture throughout the corridor. Second is that it may seem silly, but we have dozens and dozens and dozens of small community festivals. Literally to the point that it's kind of, people will come here and say, so what's the small town festival going on? I can go to Chicago and do the big city thing. I want to come here and see what's going on in the smaller towns of Iowa. So you've got Solon Beef Days, you've got Hog Wild Days, you've got Tiffin Fun Days, you've got Walker Pickle Days. Literally the list goes on and on and on of different community events. Oftentimes there's a parade, oftentimes there's a race of some sort. Quinn mentioned the New Bohemia area, the New Bo Fest is going on, lots of different things that we could talk about in terms of festivals. But we've got a lot more on our website on this. We highlight the puppet professional that's in West Branch, Herbert Hoover in West Branch. Lots of live dancing and music. So we've got all of that on our website that we'll direct you to at the end.
Next slide.
Thank you. Okay, so we're really gonna touch through these. If you are new to the community and are still looking for resources related to this, let us know because we can help you through this process. But this is just a reminder that throughout the corridor region, there's a lot of different housing options. If you come into town for a job opportunity, you may be only shown the housing that's right next to the employer or the place that you're going to be working, and that might not be what's the best fit for you. So you can, like we said, you can work someplace, but you can have a loft condo in downtown Iowa City or Cedar Rapids. You could live in more of a kind of suburbia feel in Marion or North Liberty, or a small town community like Mount Vernon or the Amana's. All easy options, very accessible, and we can help you work through that process if you so need.